Okay, so Bezrat Hashem, today is the fifth step, the fifth meeting that we have, which is the fourth step within the process that we are doing. So today it's called submission within separation. And the work that we want to try and B'ezrat Hashem do is to let go of the evil, just to throw him out of the system. Of course, it's not going to be so easy. He is going to do his job and to insist to stay, and we are going to do whatever we can. And the basic idea that is behind it is the mitzvah, which is there are 6 mitzvot which are relevant in every person, in every time, in every place. It's called mitzvot tmidiyot, everlasting mitzvot, because that's a mitzvah that you have to do. Doesn't matter in which situation you are. So out of these 6 mitzvot, there are, first mitzvah is Anoichi Havai Elokecha, to know that there is a Shem. The second mitzvah is Lo Yeh Lecha Elokim Acherim Al Panai. You shouldn't have any other object that you are relating to as a source of a power. That's not to do any idol worship. The third mitzvah is to love Hashem. The fourth mitzvah is to fear from Hashem, ahava v'yirah, love and awe. And the fifth mitzvah is the Shema Israel, which is the mitzvah to unite Hashem in every action that we are doing. And the last mitzvah, the sixth mitzvah, and the mitzvah which is written here, is V'zachartem et kol mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam v'lo taturu acharei levavchem v'acharei einechem she'atem zonim achayim. Not to turn our eyes and our heart after the evil deeds, the negative deeds, the 365 commands of non-do. You should not turn after them. Now, how can it be? So this mitzvah is very simple. You have to be the owner and the one who's controlling the thoughts, the speech, and the action. It's under your control. Hashem gave you the opportunity, the ability, the freedom, the opportunity to control it. These are called the garments of the soul. So let's see what's the idea of this fourth step out of the 9, which is submission within separation. So separation, havdalah, didn't start today. It's something based on the very beginning of creation. Vayavdel Elohim ben ha'or uven ha'choshev. When Hashem created the world, first of all, there was a darkness. And only later on the light was created. And also after the light was created, it was mixed with the darkness. So you cannot really enjoy none the light, none the dark. You cannot identify them. So Hashem was making a change. This is dark, this is light. And the meaning for us is that when we are coming to the state of separation, we have to make a difference, make a border between what is me and what is not me. I am not the problem. I have a problem. One person has depression, another person has anger, the third one has passion, which is disturbing him. Each one of us has problems, but we are not the problems. The fact that I'm separating the problem from me, that's the first step that allows me to take care of it. So when we talked about submission, we were actually doing efforts to let go of the whole of the subjective view on life. Now, what we want to do here is to be able to look on life from an objective way. Now, what is an objective way? What is the objective view? Each one of us will say that the objective view is his view, and that he is objective and I'm subjective. Now, how will we know what is real? So, the only way to know what is real is to look in the Torah. The Torah is the objective way to see the reality. But still we see that between the students of the Torah, between the rabbis, there are opinions from this side to that side. So how can we say that the Torah is an objective view on life? We have so many opinions on the reality. So of course, that's the difference between the Moshe Rabbeinu of the generation. It's written, we just read in Parashat Chukat, that Moshe is sending angels, messengers, to the leaders of Moab and Ammon. And one place it is written that Moshe Rabbeinu is sending them. In the other place it's written that that the people of Israel are sending them. So Rashi in chapter 21, in Pasuk 20, phrase 21, Chaf Aleph, in Bamidbar, he's asking what's going on here. Who is sending the messengers? Is it Moshe Rabbeinu or is it the people of Israel? And he's saying there, and it's good to look over there and to know this Rashi, that the fact that sometimes it's written Moshe and sometimes it's written the children of Israel, that means that Moshe is equal with the people of Israel, and the people of Israel are within Moshe. That the Nasi, the president of the generation, the Nasi of the people, is the generation. Moshe hu Israel ve'Israel hem Moshe. Ve'hanasi hu hakol. So in every generation there is the Nasi of Israel. That's the president. There is the president of the Jewish people. The president of the Rebbe of the generation, the Nasi is actually having the objective view. But this is the reason we are looking for the Nasi of the Dor. There's so many rabbis, Baruch Hashem, and everyone has their own opinion. And what if I will not choose the right rabbi for me? I won't have the objective view on the world. And if I will not have it, how can I let go of my fear? How can I let go of my problem? If I will go to the wrong rabbi, so he might give me a wrong view on the world. And if he will give me the wrong view, I won't be able to cure myself. I won't be able to change. So it's very important, who are we choosing? And we can say very clearly that if we want to choose right, we have to choose at least a rabbi which is connected to the Moshe Rabbeinu of the generation. And hoping that the fact that he is connected to the Moshe Rabbeinu of the generation will be a vessel through which, Be'ezrat Hashem, we will get the right advice according to the right view on the situation. So, generally speaking, when we are talking about the 3 stages of separation, we want to be able to get to the level of what is called the brain is controlling the heart, moach shalit al halev. Now, moach shalit al halev depends what do you have in the mind. If your mind is full with the letters of the Torah, so Be'ezrat Hashem, you can later on relax the heart, relax the midot, take over. But if the letters of the Torah are not fooling your mind, that means that your mind is actually controlled by the heart. Because it's either the letters of the Torah, which is what is called moach shalit al halev, or if it's not the letters of the Torah, be sure that whatever you have there is the letters of this world, is the subjective letters of the media, of what other people say, of your own even inclination and imagination. And that is controlling the mind and telling the mind what to think and how to think. And so if a person is behaving in a way which is unhealthy for him because he went through some kind of a trauma that broke his identity, and he thinks that whatever he's doing is completely reasonable and right and according to justice, but he's not behaving according to Torah and thinking according to Hasidut, so he doesn't matter how wise he is controlled by his heart. He is in a stage of a heart controlling the mind, and therefore he cannot think straight. Although he's very wise, he's very intellectual, he can't think straight. Thinking straight means that I've learned, I've filled my heart and my mind with the rules of the Torah, with the ideas of the Torah, with the order of the Torah. Now, as we said before, in every generation, the situation in the world is different. Of course, still today and tomorrow, until the end of the times, whatever is written in the Parashat Shavua, and whatever is written in the Torah and Nevi'im and Ketuvim is going to be relevant. Is going to be the real news. But still, in every generation, we need a person that will help us to understand what is going on here according to the Torah. And that's the tzaddik of the generation, the Navi of the generation. The prophet of the generation is a person which is able to connect between Torah Moshe, the Torah that we got from heaven through Moshe Rabbeinu, and the reality. He is the one who's connecting. Now, what's the basic spot from which we want to deal with reality? We want to say that our divine soul, and we have to be sure that we have such a soul. Yes, I'm a Jew, I have a divine soul. This divine soul is not controlled and not affected and not polluted by the animal soul. It is still pure and holy neshama shenatata bi tehorai. And since I have a pure soul, so I can see the world through the eyes of this pure soul. It doesn't matter what I have been doing and what happened to me through my life, still neshama shenatata bi tehorai. Unfortunately, also an evil man which did awful sins in his life, he is still saying, Neshama shenatata bi tehorai. Doesn't matter what day he had yesterday. What does it mean that he's saying Neshama shenatata bi tehorai? That doesn't matter whatever happened to me, I have a spot of healthy and clear view on the reality. Although I'm under so much confusion of the imagination of the animal soul. So the result of all that, the conclusion is that the process of Havdalah is changing the balance in the battlefield between the two souls. That till today, till I got to the place of Havdalah, so the Balabait, the owner of the body, the owner of the mind, the owner of the heart, was my animal soul. But now, when I'm doing the right work, and when I'm starting the Havdalah, I'm slowly and surely, Be'ezrat Hashem, going on a path that the divine soul will be the owner, will be the Balabait, will be the king, and the slave will be the animal soul and the body, and not opposite. So till today, till I got to Havdalah, the slave was the divine soul. Unfortunately, it's called Shifcha Kitiraj Gvirta. That the slave became the queen and the queen became a slave. Now we want to put everything in the place. The queen will be a queen. Neshama shenatata bi tehorai. And the slave will be a slave. The body, the Jewish body, will be a good slave, a good vessel to the divine soul, a happy slave. Eved Hashem. To be a slave is not such a bad thing. Moshe Rabbeinu, the one and only, the greatest prophet of all times, he is called Eved Hashem, the slave of Hashem. He is a slave to his divine soul. So what we want to change here in the Havdalah, we want to take over. Generally, when we go to a war, so the Torah in Sefer Dvarim is telling us, Ki tetzeh lamilchama al oivecha. When you'll go to a battle, to a war, you'll be above. Al in Hebrew means above. You'll be above your enemy. So that's a very important idea, that when you see your evil spirit, when you see your bad inclination, and when you are trying to deal with it, you might think that it is stronger than you. The Torah is telling you, Al oivecha. You are a Jew, you are beyond nature, and it doesn't matter how many soldiers, airplanes, missiles the enemy has. In the essence, you are above him. Just use your essence. Just be connected to your essence. And then, Unetano Hashem Elokecha beyadecha v'shavita shivyo. God will help you. And Bezrat Hashem, you together with Hashem, which is actually one, Israel, Orai, Takut Shavrechu Kulachan, the Jewish people, the Torah, and Hashem are all three things which are one, as the Zohar is saying. So v'shavita shivyo, you'll be able to take the sparks, the sparks that were before in captivity under the control of the klippah. You're able to take it from the klippah, take it from the shells, take it from the hands of the evil powers in the creation, and bring it back home, the Shavita Shivyo. So we can take the Shavita Shivyo only if we are in a state of mind that we are beyond it. Every time that the Jews are supposed to deal with the nations, we should go from the starting point that we are above it. We are not in the same level. Not because we are proud and wiser, because we are having a divine receptor, a divine connection to something which is completely above nature. So let's go through the steps. We started with submission within submission, which is the meditation in the greatness of God, of how small the person is. And that gave us a first opportunity to surrender our ego in front of Hashem. Then we started to talk with Hashem. And the fact that we spoke with Hashem shrinked our worry, our problem. So this was the first step, which is greatness of God, smallest of the self, and speaking with Hashem. Now, it's very important that when we are starting the submission part, the separation part, we should know that we are above the Goy Asher Bekirbecha. The Goy Asher Bekirbecha, the simple meaning, the Goy Asher Bekirbecha is the nations who are living within the land of Israel. But in Chassidut, the Goy Asher Bekirbecha is the Goy within me, the non-Jew within the Jew. There's a story about the Alter Rebbe that he had a chassid which was called Rabbi Shmuel Munkis. He came to the Alter Rebbe when it was a strong winter over there, and he chose to come in the middle of the winter, and he chose to come in after midnight, and he chose to come directly to the house of the Alter Rebbe. He had his chutzpah. So he knocked the door of the Alter Rebbe, and he told him, it's cold outside, can I get in? So the Alter Rebbe let him in, standing by the fireside. And then the Alter Rebbe told him, listen, I'm learning now. Can you just, sit and rest here? You're moving from one side to another. I can't learn like that. So he told the Alter Rebbe, what do you want from a Jew? I just came I'm cold, I want to get warm. And generally, the Alter Rebbe saw that this guy is not polite at all, and he's not behaving normally, and he's not doing what he's supposed to do, and disturbing him. He came in the middle of the night and started to disturb him. So he told the guy, told the Jew, listen, if you're not going to behave yourself, I'll have to call the Goy. I'll have to call the non-Jew which is working here in the house, and he'll take you out. So this chassid, Shmuel Munkis, told the Alter Rebbe, my Goy is greater and stronger than your Goy. He told him that the non-Jew within me is stronger than the non-Jew that you have in your house. And then the Alter Rebbe understood that it's not a simple guy that came to visit him in the middle of the night. It's a very special chassid. And indeed, he was one of the greatest students of the Alter Rebbe. And the Alter Rebbe many times asked his advice. So, Hagoy asher bekirbecha, the non-Jew within the Jew.
How is it acceptable for him to speak disrespectfully to the Alter Rebbe, though?
So he had a very sharp sense of humor, and he used it a few times. For example, when the Russian came to arrest the Alter Rebbe and take him to jail and accuse him with betraying Russia and everything. So the Alter Rebbe asked Rabbi Shmuel Munkis, which was nearby to him, should I go? I mean, the Alter Rebbe has an opportunity. He can vanish if he wants. He can be in a state of someone who is able to see, but nobody is able to see him. So he asked the Shmuel Munkis, should I go to the jail? So Shmuel answered him, listen, if you are a real Rebbe, so what's the point? Be in the jail, be here. You can do your mission wherever you are. So go to the jail. And if you are not a real Rebbe, so who gave you the permission to take the taste of all the worldly thing, the good worldly thing, from tens of thousands of Hasidim. If you are not Rebbe, how dare you do it? So you should go to the jail. So, in other words, he told them, yes, it's okay, go to the jail. And so a real chassid is not really talking in a disrespectful way to the Rebbe. He's sharpening the mind of the Rebbe. So he wasn't disrespectful. He was just sharing with the Alter Rebbe in his special humor way the problem that he came with. I came here to you after midnight because the goy asher bekirbecha, the goy within me, is very strong, and I need your help. And that was his way to say it. So anyway, what we want to say, first of all, when we come to separation, we should know that the healthy part within me is stronger than the problematic part. And for some people, it's not easy to accept because they deal with huge problems and huge difficulties and a huge even inclination and an imagination. And when you are telling them, listen, my friend, the Jew within you is stronger than the non-Jew within you. That Yetzer HaTov, your good inclination, is stronger. For them, it's very important. It's very important that you will say it. It gives them hope. Now, that is giving us the ability to send away our negative thoughts. So, Ger hayiti be'eretz nochriya. The Jew, when he comes to this place, he is feeling that he is a ger. He's feeling that he's not really connected. Now, let's see what does it mean hitnatkut? Hitnatkut in Hebrew is to be disconnected. What is disconnected according to the Torah? So, first of all, we have to look on the world and also to look on the Yetzarim. Yetzarim is the urges of the animal soul as people who are looking from above. So now the animal soul is hungry. Now it's tired. Now the world is telling to me, do this and not do that. Instead of being there and feeling that it is me who is under pressure, you look from above and you see that there is the pressure and there is the me and there is the real self above it. Many people who had experienced death and came back, they were in a clinic death. So the first vision that they are describing is that their soul is going above the reality and they see their body from above and they see the world from above and they see everything from above. Now, if we are learning Torah properly, we are able to zoom out from the situation and to have a right decision regarding what is going on in the reality. Another very important point is to be able to think out of the box. What is the box? The box is the nature. The nature, the rules of the nature, the rules of the world, the rules of the nations. This is the nature. The nature is that whatever happened till today is going to happen also in the future. This is the nature. This is my limitations. This is his limitation. We should think out of the box. We should be able to know that whatever we are thinking and understanding as real, because people said it's real, it is just an opportunity. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Another very important point. Our attitude should be that we have the merit, the ability and the responsibility to turn the reality, to turn the world into the place that Hashem can dwell into. We come to this world as emissaries. We have a mission. And we also have the privilege to have the mission. We also have the responsibility to have the mission. That, okay, this reality is maybe a very confusing place, but I, as a Jewish soul within a Jewish body, have the ability to turn everything upside down and to make it a place for Hashem. So I'm coming to the situation not as something who is involved and which has to obey to the world. I'm coming as a visitor. Ger hayiti be'eretz nochriya. I'm a tourist here. Now, I'm a tourist that not only came to see and take pictures, I'm a tourist that came to change the reality. You know that it's very popular among Israelis that when they are going to travel somewhere, especially in what is called the third world, Nepal and India and other places in Africa, they're not satisfied with only being tourists. They are struggling and trying to volunteer in some kind of a place that they can change. They can change by education. They can change by being a doctor somewhere. So they have a very strong feeling of responsibility. That I came here as a visitor, I came here as a tourist, but I actually came here to help someone and to change the reality and to make it a better place. But that's something very beautiful about us, about the Jewish people, that we are not only visiting the world, we are actually trying to fix it. And when you come with this attitude, you are not so much controlled by the power of the reality. As the Alter Rebbe is writing in the Tanya, V'zeh kol ha'adam, this is the essence of every person, that for this he was created, and for that all the worlds were created. the upper worlds, the lower worlds, to make a place, to make an apartment, to make a house for Hashem in this lower world. Why it's called the lower world? Such a beautiful world. Why it's called the lowest of all the lowest worlds? Maybe hell is lower? Maybe Kafakela is lower? No, that's the lowest world. Why? Because the light of Hashem is in such a situation that is so hidden, it's impossible to recognize. This is called the lower of all the lowest worlds. Unfortunately, when a person is in hell, he knows why he is there, and he knows how long he's going to be there, and he understands why he is getting what he's getting. But in this world, things are happening to me, and I can't understand. Why did it happen? Why Hashem did such a thing to me, to my friend? What's going on here? Lama hareot al-am hazeh? Moshe Rabbeinu, the prophets of all prophets, is asking Hashem, why are you doing evil things to the Jewish people? Lama hareot al-am hazeh? So he himself have a problem to understand the godly divine providence. But together with the fact that it is the lowest world, we have within us the highest spark, Chelek Eloka Mimal Mamash, a divine soul which can fix it, which can enlighten it. So there was a beautiful word, idea of the Rebbe Mikotsk, Menachem Mendel Mikotsk. He said, if I am I, because you are you, that means that I am who I am, because I'm looking at you and I'm trying to behave according to you. So if I am I, because you are you, so you are you because I am I. That means that none of us is real. We are just pretending. Each one of us is taking a part in the play. So again, if I am I because you are you, and you are you because I am I, so I am not I and you are not you. That's the situation here in this world. Each one of us is having some kind of tachposet. He's hiding himself behind some kind of a mask. It's like every day is Purim, Kol Yom Purim. That I'm pretending to be who I'm not. And because I'm pretending, so you also have to pretend. This is called Olam HaSheker, the world of lies. But if I am I, because I am I, that means that I know who I am, I'm sensitive to who I am, and I'm trying to be who I am. So, ve'ata ata ki ata. You can be you because you are you. So, what we get is that we are both real. So, me is me and you are you. Now, if the Jew will be a Jew because he is a Jew, so the world can be a vessel for Hashem. But if the Jew is not a Jew, if the Jew is behaving like a non-Jew, so the world cannot be a world for Hashem. And where it is starting? It's starting with me. The fact that the world is telling me to think in a certain way and to behave in a certain way, this is the job of the world. But if I am able to be who I am, so the world will start to behave and think and demand different things. I have the free choice. The world doesn't have the free choice. The world is behaving according to the rules, and he cannot go out of the rules, including the nations. The only real, true essence of free choice is within me, the Jew. If I will choose to be I, so the world will choose to be the world. A world which is a vessel to Hashem. A world which is not hiding but revealing Hashem. So it's up to me to start the show from the beginning. Now in the Parashat Korach, we have learned that when Moshe Rabbeinu, after trying to convince Korach and all these people to change their mind and to make tshuva, they're not in a situation to understand what they did and what they want to do. They're continuing to resist and to say that the world will be the balabait and that the evil spirit, she is right. They're insisting on that. Moshe Rabbeinu is telling, Hibadlu mitoch ha'eda hazot v'achalei otam karaku. He's telling to all the Jews, stay away. Keep away, be far away from Korach and the people with him. That's a very sad thing to say about a Jew. But Moshe Rabbeinu saw that there's no other option. I'm going to make a miracle that the land will swallow them alive. And I'm telling you, make Havdalah, make a distance if you don't want to fall down into the ground. We have Havdalah, which is not from the side of the Torah. It's from the side of the Klippa, of the Yetzer Hara. And let's go and try to understand what's the Havdalah within the evil inclination. So the evil inclination is saying, okay, you have a problem. I'll tell you what's your problem. Your problem is that you think that there is a Hashem. I'm telling you, disconnect from your Jewish identity. Forget about the problem. Live like a goy, think like a goy, be part of the nation. Don't mix yourself with stupid ideas that you are different from anyone else. This is separation, which is negative. The negative separation is the separation from Chas v'Shalom, the divine soul. And instead of obtaining and learning what is the objective view on the world from the eyes of the Torah and from the eyes and through the eyes of the Rebbe, you're saying to me, you know what? You're talking about being objective. I believe in the science. And I know whatever is taught in the university, this is the truth. And the objective way to look on life is everything which was revealed by by the researches that we did in the last few years. And of course, many of it is completely disinformation, and there's a completely confusion over there, and the science is changing his view regarding the essence of life every other day. What is good and what is healthy and what is bad and what is not healthy every other day. So to say that this is an objective way, it's a shtut. It's a confusion by itself. Baruch Hashem, today the science is getting very closer to the Torah in many places. But again, we are talking about a person that has a problem, and he is saying that the problem is to disconnect from the Jewish identity. This is the solution. Another point is that we are all human beings. There's the universal attitude. There's a one world, there's no borders, there's no nations, there's no man, there's no woman, there are no real identities. Everything is an option. The fact that a person was born as in a man's body doesn't mean that he's a man. He can be another thing. The fact that you are a Jew is just an imagination. And the need to say that we are all one and that we are all same and people are people is freezing the Jewish warmth, freezing the Jewish heart. And of course, the statement that there is nothing above the mind, and everything is seichel, everything is knowledge, everything is intellect. That is blocking the opportunity to feel the divine providence and to feel Hashem. So what we wanted to say here, we want to say here that there is separation also within the animal soul. And we meet it each and every day. But Baruch Hashem, we are talking today about separation in the holy side. And one of the points that we spoke about, that we have all kinds of worries which went out of proportion, and we have to destroy them very accurately. And when we are talking about separation within the holy work of the Baal Shem Tov, we are talking about taking a thought after thought which is disturbing me, which is stressing me, and to destroy it, and to make sure that it has no power on me. It's not controlling me anymore. We are talking about being able to take an urge, to take an imagination, to take a fear which looks like something which is very important to deal with, and to be able to let go of it. As we say in Bi'ur Chametz before Pesach, Ke'afara de'ara, that what is so important to the animal soul have to eat it, have to touch it, have to get it, have to run away from it. The divine soul is saying, no, it's okay. I don't have any passion. I don't have any fear. I'm able to control the heart. Another very important point within the separation of the Kedusha is that I'm not alone. Hashem is with me. This is the objective view. The subjective view that I'm alone, that I'm lonely, that no one can help me. The objective view of the Torah is that Hashem is with you. Ana Hashem Moshiana, please help me. I'm separated from the world. I'm above the world because I'm connected to Hashem. And I admit very clearly that without Him, I won't be able to fight back and to overcome my problems. So, my way to deal with the problem is to separate from the problem, separate and stop giving it attention and to avoid it. And I have the power to avoid it. Now, we know that to live with denial is not a way to live. In the end of the day, we will have to face our problems. But the fact that I am able to deny it now, and I'm able to behave in the way that I want to behave and not according to my problem, that's the first step. I'm able to put it aside, to overcome. I'm not slaves to the negative thoughts anymore. Later on, I'll be able to solve them. But right now, submission within separation is to be able to put it aside. Okay, so this is the ideas that we went through today. And that's, as we said, separation within. Sorry, it's submission within separation is to actually give back the opportunity to control my mind and to decide whatever is right for me and wrong for me. And so B'ezrat Hashem, that's the ideas that we spoke about now. Now maybe it's good if we are maybe we can share a little bit of what we spoke here and what we spoke last time, and try to understand how it is connected to our life. Or Baruch, where are you holding?
With today or with last time?
With last time, first of all.
Take out those notes. So tell me if this is right. I know that we were supposed to.
Oh, we can, B'ezrat Hashem, during the week, work with the ideas that we spoke about today, and we can try and select a thought which is disturbing me. Maybe it's competition, maybe it's hatred, maybe it's fear. Whatever it is, try to write down one thought which is coming up again and again, and try to work with it and to separate the thought from the self, and to look on the thought through the eyes of the Torah and not through the eyes of my feelings. which is the animal soul. Try to verify what according to Torah should be done here. Now, sometimes we will have an immediate answer. What should be done? That's the halakha. We don't want the immediate answer. The immediate answer is again coming from the heart. We want an answer which is coming after consultation, after thinking, after reviewing, after hearing other people, and then try to adopt a thought which is more objective than the thought which is bothering us right now. More balanced, more in control. Even if it is very hard and creating a lot of resistance within us. We have to say to ourselves, this is the thought of the Torah, this is the way of the Torah, this is the way of the tzaddik. I'm ready to take it, even though I have so much resistance. And I would like to continue to think the way I always thought. So that's a big effort. And it's work. You have to verify it. You have to find out what is this. You cannot say, I know what it is. One of the Mishnayot in Pirkei Avot is saying that if a person is saying kablu dati, that means that accept my opinion. My opinion is the only one. The Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, is saying kablu dati. He's saying accept me, that this is the way to see it. And I'm saying no, not kablu dati. I don't accept it. I have objection. I want to ask. I want to learn. I want to make sure whether I'm thinking straight or I'm completely confused because of my fears, because of my anger, because of my pain. I want to know. And after I will verify it, then I will rebuild this thought through the eyes of the tzaddik. B'ezrat Hashem, so that should be the task for this week. Should B'ezrat Hashem be successful to and brave to B'ezrat Hashem to go into it and to put it back under the control of Neshama Shenatata Bi Torah, of our divine soul.